For decades, the American passport was a golden ticket, a symbol of freedom and access, opening doors to almost any country on the globe. But in a world of shifting geopolitical alliances, rising nationalism, and changing economic landscapes, that golden ticket is beginning to tarnish. The days of simple, unrestricted travel are fading. Across the globe, nations aren't closing their borders entirely, but they are toughening their stances, adding new hurdles, and making it increasingly difficult for American citizens to live, work, and even visit. This trend is spreading from Latin America to Europe and Asia. This isn't about fear, it's about being informed. Today, we're exploring the new reality of international travel. From new visa requirements to heightened scrutiny at the border, these are 10 countries making it harder to travel as an American in 2025. Before we dive into the list, it's crucial to understand the driving forces behind this global shift. It's not a coordinated effort against Americans. It's a series of independent actions driven by new world realities. First, geopolitical tensions. As power dynamics shift, countries use visa policy as a tool for diplomacy. A strained political relationship can quickly translate into stricter travel rules for ordinary citizens. For example, trade disputes or political disagreements between two nations can lead to a slowdown in visa processing, increased security screenings, or even the cancellation of visa waiver programs. This is a form of diplomatic leverage that directly impacts you. Second, new digital security. Many nations are modernizing their entry systems, moving from a simple stamp to advanced digital screenings. The European Union's new ESHA system is a prime example of this, an extra layer of digital security that will soon become mandatory for millions of travelers. These systems, based on biometrics and pre-screening, are designed to enhance security, but for travelers, they create new obligations that must be met. Third, economic nationalism. Some countries are prioritizing their domestic workforce and industries. This can lead to new visa restrictions aimed at limiting the number of foreign workers or even tourists who might compete with local businesses. For example, countries may tighten visa requirements for digital nomads or limit the duration of a stay to ensure that foreigners do not overstay their welcome and take jobs that could be filled by locals. Finally, reciprocity. Visa policies are often a two-way street. If the United States imposes restrictions on citizens from other countries, those nations may retaliate with similar measures for Americans. This eye for an eye principle can have a direct impact on your ability to travel, turning what was once a visa-free trip into a complicated and lengthy visa application process. This new landscape means that a once simple trip now requires more planning, more paperwork, and more awareness of the world around you. Let's look at the countries where these changes are most noticeable. Brazil. Reason: the United States requires Brazilian citizens to get a visa. In response, Brazil is re-implementing a visa requirement for Americans. This is a classic case of reciprocity. What was once an easy visa-free trip will soon require a formal visa application process and fee payment, adding an extra layer of steps and time to your plans. It shows how international relations can impact a casual trip. China. With heightened geopolitical and trade tensions, travel to China for Americans is becoming more complex. While not fully closed, the visa application process has become stricter, with increased scrutiny on American business travelers, personal interviews, and a higher rate of visa denials. You must provide more detailed information on your travel plans, itineraries, and business contacts than ever before. Panama. Despite close economic ties, Panama is tightening its immigration rules. Authorities have become more stringent on verifying financial solvency and travel purpose, especially for those planning an extended stay. This is a response to increasing international migration flows, and the government is aiming to ensure everyone entering has a clear legal purpose and does not strain local resources. Colombia. In a surprising development, recent diplomatic friction between the U.S. and Colombia over repatriation flights has led to brief suspensions of visa issuance for certain officials and a new level of unpredictability for American travelers. It's a clear example of how quickly bilateral issues can affect travel, even if relations are generally positive. It serves as an important reminder that nothing can be taken for granted. Saudi Arabia. Reason: while opening up to tourism, Saudi Arabia is also tightening its visa system. New visa categories and application processes are being implemented with more rigorous security checks, reflecting a global trend towards increased control over who enters the country. The process is becoming more formal, and while this doesn't mean a closure, it does require travelers to be more prepared and provide more detailed information than in the past. The Schengen Area. Reason: in late 2026, the European Union plans to fully launch the ETIAS, European Travel Information and Authorization System. This isn't a visa, but a new digital travel authorization required for Americans and other visa-exempt travelers. It costs a small fee and requires a quick online application, but it is a mandatory new hurdle that changes the game. It will no longer be possible to simply fly to Europe with a passport as it was before. The United Kingdom. Reason: the UK has launched its own version of the EU's ETIAS called the ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization. This means Americans will need to apply for and receive this digital document before traveling to the UK. This process is part of the government's broader strategy to strengthen border control and digitally track everyone entering the country, regardless of their citizenship. Turkey. While a popular tourist destination, Turkey has significantly tightened its immigration rules in recent years, especially for those seeking temporary residency. Authorities have become more strict on proof of travel purpose and financial stability, and have increased scrutiny at the border. This is a reaction to a growing influx of foreigners, and the authorities aim to have more control over who is living in the country. South Africa. Once relatively easy to visit, now requires in-person visa applications for many traveler categories, including Americans. This means visitors must appear at a consulate or visa center to provide biometric data, adding a significant and inconvenient step to the travel planning process. It's part of measures aimed at increasing security and control over migration. Myanmar. Due to continued internal conflict and political instability, the U.S. has a high-level travel advisory in place. In addition to safety concerns, obtaining a visa is increasingly difficult, and travelers face the risk of arbitrary detention and security issues. Even with a visa, the risks to American citizens are extremely high, and the country's government has tightened its control over foreigners. This isn't a doomsday prediction, it's a call to action. The era of spontaneous, visa-free global travel is evolving. As an American traveler in 2025, you need to be proactive. Check visa requirements. Don't assume visa-free access. Check official embassy websites for the latest rules, as they can change without warning. Apply early. New digital systems like the ETIAS and ETA will require you to apply for authorization well in advance. Don't wait until the last minute, as delays can ruin your plans. Stay informed. Follow news and official travel advisories. Geopolitical events can change travel rules overnight. Before you book tickets, check if there are government warnings regarding safety in your destination. Be aware of local laws. Every country has its own laws for foreigners, and ignorance is no excuse. Respect local customs and laws to avoid problems. Connect with others. Talk to other travelers who have recently returned from a destination, or join online forums to learn about their experiences. Your passport is still incredibly powerful, but its power now comes with a new layer of awareness and preparation. The world isn't closing its doors, but it is asking you to be more aware of the new rules of entry. By staying informed and prepared, you can navigate this changing landscape and continue to explore the world. If you found this information useful, be sure to like and subscribe for more insights into global trends in travel.